All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to session number 2 of today of our multi-channel commerce and product listing optimization masterclass curriculum. Today, all about Google Shopping and how to optimize your product information from there. And it is my pleasure to welcome a very, very special guest, Denis Sitnikov, here coming to us live from Dublin, Ireland. Denis, thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me today.
Cool. Denis is a retail solution specialist. So he is sitting in the trenches, working on a daily basis with brands, especially here in Europe, on maximizing their success with their Google products. So he's going to give you the ins and outs on what you should be thinking about and what you should be optimizing about your product information to get the most success out of Google Shopping. Oftentimes, when you think of Google Shopping and your success there, you're thinking about increasing your budget. But you're going to see right now that there is a very important part that you should not be forgetting, and that is your product data. I think there's no company out there that stands for data as much as Google, and Denis is going to show you all about this in just a bit. The way we're going to structure today's 30 minutes that we have together, real quick at the beginning, we're going to do a quick recap on the last session. In case you missed it, you can always watch the recording, obviously online. Afterwards, Denis is going to give you the masterclass for Google Shopping and product listing optimization. Afterwards, quickly, I'm going to show you inside Plytix on how you can apply what you have learned today and how to optimize your data at scale for your products. That should take in total about 20-ish minutes. And then we have enough time for you guys to ask Denis, the expert, anything Google related, obviously.
Of course, of course.
Cool. So for you guys that have missed it, this is all about product listing optimization. And the number one thing that you should be thinking about when competing in a multi-channel commerce environment is to decouple your product information from the front end. The reason behind that is that there's a lot of overlap in data that you can use. For Google, you're going to see a lot of essential things like the brand, the size are really important, but they are the same across whether you use it on your website, whether you use it for Amazon. This is data that you can leverage for a lot of different purposes. So having the central source of truth will save you a lot of time and efforts and duplicated work. Then, second of all, what are we going to optimize for? We can say it all together again: keywords, attributes, and taxonomy. Denis is going to show you in a bit how this pertains to Google Shopping specifically. But you know, every channel is different. Today, we're diving deep into Google Shopping. In the next session, we're talking about Amazon. And obviously, this is completely different. What works here today for Google is not going to give you the same results on Amazon. And last but not least, leveraging a PIM tool will help you manage this at scale, give your team a tool designed for team collaboration to create the content at scale. Now, without further ado, you can always, John is managing the channel, as always, very important to mention here. John, maybe you can put a link to the recording in there. If not, please feel free to hit us up afterwards. You can watch it today. Again, we're recording this. If you want to rewatch it, we'll send you the recording. But now, get ready. This is going to be a lot of information. Denis, are you ready to tell us how to win on Google Shopping?
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, Tim, for this introduction. And it's really amazing to have such an introducer, because I could introduce myself better than you did. And today I was invited to discuss feed management, as I truly believe that this is the most important part of a successful shopping campaign, the feed. And let's be honest, and it won't be an eye-opener for anyone that feed management may be boring. And that's why my topic today is not feed management, but rather how boring things can make money for your business. I'll tell you about business impact, and I will also share 3 steps guide how to optimize feeds so that it brings the most impact to your business. And let's start with the business impact. How does feed management affect business metrics? In 3 ways. Paid traffic. The second one, it can help you to follow the trends and match your product with user needs. And the last one, but not least, is free listings. The better information you have, the more free clicks you get on Google. Let's start with the first one, paid traffic, which is pretty and fairly simple. The better feed, the better data you have in your feed, the better quality and the more accurate targeting you have. And as a result of it, you have really efficient ads. And eventually, it may bring some impact on your business metrics, because the better data you have, the much better your investments work. Your cost per click is lower as you have better quality, and customers love your ads as as your ads are straight to the point, and if they are searching for this or that product, you can show relevant product with really qualitative ads. The second one, you can follow the trends and match with user needs, and by these I mean you can capture new demand, you can stay relevant, and you can do better targeting if you do proper feed management. And the last but not least, as I said, free listings. For those who are not really aware about this feature that is available on Google, you can get free clicks. Yeah, free clicks on any property that we have on Google. And you should do feed management, really good, rigorous feed management, because the better feed you have, the more free listings you have, the more formats you're eligible for. And those free listings, those free clicks are organic shopping experience, and you can get them if you do really proper feed management. And now let's focus on the second part, not on the business metrics, not on the business impact, but how we can achieve that business impact, how we can improve our business metrics. And I believe that there are 3 steps in feed management. First, fix all mistakes, which is fairly simple. The second one, optimize everything that you have right now in your feed. Everything that was fixed should be optimized to do the next step. And then the last step is go that extra mile to get free clicks, to be eligible for more free formats. First of all, fix all mistakes. It's really obvious, but it's really very important. I cannot stress enough how important it is, because the most of my clients, the most of merchants that I work with, they see these common issues in their merchant center accounts. Some availability mismatches, some price mismatches, their images may be too big, too low, or even much worse, they don't have any GTIN information. And the GTIN is a really crucial piece of information that you should provide in your feeds. Because first, GTIN and brand attributes, they are really required. And overall, GTIN data gives, in terms of clicks, in terms of conversions, gives from 20 to 40% more. It gives these uplift if only you provide these 2 attributes, like GTIN and brand. And of course, you can, or team can, ask me, okay, what if I don't have GTIN information? I produce my own products. Say, I have my, shoe store, and I, craft my own shoes or trainers. Okay, if you don't have GTIN information, at least you can set up your own MPN or manufacturer product number along with your brand. and it also will work as a good boost for your clicks and conversions, because at least we have some piece of data to match with other products in the web. And yeah, but if you don't have GT or MPN, and you produce your craft one-of-a-kind products without MPN, even without MPN, it's still okay to have your products, but those products will be limited in terms of performance compared with those with GT. And of course, in most cases, issues with images is the second most common thing that we see. As in Google, we have strict editorial standards around images and shopping, because we want to provide our users with best in-class shopping experience. You should focus on images as a second priority. And those images, as I said, they can be too big, too small, too generic, or they have some watermarks on it, or even overlay text. So it's fairly simple and easy to fix, isn't it? So the first part was about fixing mistakes, about images, about GTN, and about brand and NPN numbers in your feed. The second part will be optimization. And I have a question, and I prepared this question to the audience, but unfortunately I cannot see all of you guys. And unfortunately, as I said, I have to communicate with Tim. Tim, I have a question. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because we've been communicating all the way, preparing this presentation. Tim, okay, you have your own store. Say you have fixed everything in your feed. Like your images are not too big, too small, they're pretty fairly okay. How would you optimize your data even further in your feed? And the audience, just think about this just for a second. Apply this information, apply this question to your own business. Team, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, if you have the answer, if you have any good suggestions to help me out, please put something in the chat. But I would say, let's see, what about seasonality? I mean, we're going into Easter season right now, then the summer season is coming. If we're thinking barbecue grill, or if I'm selling a barbecue grill, let's say, and I'm selling it in the US, maybe I may want to think about Sunday tailgating for football season versus in Europe, where maybe you have more of a family gathering or you're watching a different sport, something like that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds really great. And we have a couple of suggestions in the chat. Yeah, using keywords in the product label. Yep. That's also good. Yeah, feel free to throw your ideas in the chat and we can discuss it afterwards, of course. But here's my answers. And this is a really good suggestion that you just suggested, team, because you can apply these knowledge, these trends that you can capture in this market or from that market. You can apply these throughout all attributes that you have in your feed, in title, description, images, and some other attributes. And I want to focus on four pillars: title, description, image, and some relevant recommended attributes that you can use to enrich your data in your feed. First of all, quite a small percentage of titles have brand included into the title, and less than half have product types and colors included in their titles. And optimizing your titles, you can improve your impressions and ranking in the auction, in the shopping ads auction. And for every business category, I would say, we have a little recommendations how to optimize titles. And yeah, this is really text-heavy slides, but don't put attention to these slides right now. I just want to highlight three colors: red one, blue, and yellow. Those three must-haves for all categories, for all businesses. Say I'm selling Nike shoes, and I would put Nike instead of brand. I would also put running shoes instead of product type, the blue color. And also I would finish this line with some really relevant attribute, such as color, white. And focus on the first line, apparel category. As Nike in that apparel category, why not to add also gender, just between brand and product type, to have Nike woman running shoes, white color, size 4.5, something else. And you can add the material on top of it if you have enough characters in the title left. And the last one, the last line is also quite important. Some seasonal products, if you sell, say, ugly Christmas sweater, why not to mention that this is Christmas sweater? It's not just ugly, because apparently you won't be able to sell ugly sweater by itself. But in the Christmas time, yeah, it's quite a good product to sell. And a tiny hint over here, to optimize for impressions, broad terms should be present, like shoes, if you sell shoes. But if you want to optimize for CTR, click-through rate, include some specific granular terms, such as running trainers instead of shoes. Again, if you want to chase for impressions, use broad terms. If you want to chase for click-through rate, to be relevant, as much relevant as possible, include relevant granular terms, such as running trainers. The second one is description. And most of my clients usually forget about descriptions because, okay, who read descriptions? No one. But it is important to remember, this is where you have the most space to tell Google what this product is all about. This is where you can add wedding dresses or running trainers or promotions. All of these specifics that won't fit anywhere else, you can add into your description. And I would encourage you to add as much relevant information as possible, as you can, and as you have in your product descriptions. And again, here's a piece of advice: never leave description blank, because it will give you a negative quality score to some extent. It's going to be a negative factor for us. And also submit the most important details in the first 500 characters, because usually we crawl the first part of description. And avoid adding spam or promo texts. Please avoid including all your relevant or irrelevant keywords into the description, because again, it is going to be a negative factor for us. We don't want to see only promotions, discounts, buy two, get the third one in your description. Stay relevant for our users. And also, another piece of advice, leverage information from your landing pages, because we believe that the user experience should be as smooth as possible, from the google.com to your landing page and to your checkout page. And of course, if needed, repeat some attributes such as the product title, series, format, or model, or color if your description is blank, if you have nothing to say more. And also, I'm coming back to that suggestion that Tim said, add some relevant training keywords, because we have a really brilliant tool such as a Google Trends. Please visit this website and check out what's the demanding terms right now, and add those demanding terms naturally into your description. It will allow you to stay relevant, to capture new users, to capture new demand, because every day, every week, every month, every year, we have millions or even billions of new queries, new keywords, and you should stay relevant. And to stay relevant, you should check out Google Trends regularly. And now we are moving on to quality images. It's fairly simple, again, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, as it is quoted. I would encourage you to submit images with the highest resolution of 800 to 800 pixels, no more than 4 megabyte size. And also keep in mind that quality image improves click-through rate, which improves the result of it. It improves conversions and return on your investment. And again, show just your product without any overlay text, discounts, labels, or something, because we want to show our users that your product. We don't want to show some discounts or something, because for your discounts, for your promotions, we have another attributes. And this slide is also text heavy, but still add some recommended attributes that are relevant to your business category. And two really important recommended attributes that I would highlight: Google product category and product types. These two attributes help us to understand from what category your product is. And these two attributes are used for targeting, for bidding, and for categorization. Please include and verify Google product category, because it's the key to match to search terms. It can be automatically selected, by the way, by Google. We do these automatically, but still provide some relevant information, some precise information, and include at least three levels of depth into your product types. And also don't forget about size, material, additional images, and mobile links. So altogether, this is the example of really good shopping ad. This is concise, shiny, and relevant. It was all about optimization, and the last part will be about the extra mile. What do I mean by extra mile? I mean free listings and how to maximize free listings impact. And also I will tell you more about some new attributes that were recently added onto Google. This is free listings, and the more relevant attributes you have in your feed, the more free formats your products are eligible for, such as knowledge panel, product tag, and some rich snippets annotation on images on Google. And we have two versions of free listings: the standard one on the left side and enhanced. If you provide us with just GTN brand and that's it, you will be eligible only for standard listings, for standard free listings. But if you enrich your data with some relevant attributes, you'll be eligible for enhanced ones. And we have recommendations per business category. So if you sell, again, those shoes, or if you sell something in the apparel and accessories category, make sure that you have color, size, age group, and gender in your feed to maximize free listings impact on your business metrics. And yeah, this slide and these two slides will be about optional attributes. They were introduced last year in the midsummer, and very few clients right now are aware about these product details attribute that is intended for tech, some tech details. And of course, we recommend to use relevant information, and we recommend to use this attribute to highlight only relevant information to your users. Don't add some promo text or some demand terms or something. Let me give you an example. You can use product detail attribute for camera body if you sell cameras. You can include relevant information in a really short and shiny way. You can highlight that this camera body has this feature in terms of video quality, and it can record HD 60 frames per second. And the last attribute that I would like to tell you more about is product highlight. It's pretty the same, but different again at the same time. Just a list of relevant highlights yeah, this is just easy, consumable, quick way to introduce some details about your products, to answer the most common questions of our users at a glance, just to let them know what this product is all about and what kind of features this product has. And again, if you want to get, and if you want to more about product attributes, just search for product data attributes on Google and you will see the Help Center article with all the details about attributes that we have on Google. And again, fix mistakes, optimize the information that you have. Check out Google Trends, as Tim will do after this call. And go that extra mile. Maximize your free listings impact. Use those two shiny and relevant attributes if you want to be one of those clients who are going to be the first ones. And Tim has something really amazing to show you right now about Plytix and how these recommendations can be used in Plytix right away. Thank you. Tim?
Wow, powerful stuff. I think if I would have to recap this presentation with, well, 2 or 3 sentences, I would say it's probably all about giving your target audience the information that is most relevant to them, because Google is more than just keywords, right? It's a lot of sentiment. It's a lot of larger kind of connections that are together. So it's not that easy to just say this is the perfect keyword. Just because it's great today doesn't mean it's going to work just as much tomorrow. Is that true?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want to spend your money or your investments on irrelevant clicks or irrelevant impressions. We want your products to be relevant, as much relevant to our users as possible, because this is our business. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so before we go into Q&As, I already know we're going to go over, and my German heart is bleeding here that we're not going to be fully on time, but I'm going to jump into the tool right now because I want to show you, as Dennis has mentioned, how we can take what we have just learned and apply this at scale together with Plytix. And then afterwards, we are collecting your questions right now, and we're going to go through the most relevant ones. There's a lot of questions regarding images that I think are really interesting. If we don't get to your question, be sure we will follow up either way. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Perfect. Okay. So what we're going to take a look at right now is how to prepare your products for Google Shopping. And you already see this completeness tracking here on the site. And what this does, it basically collects all the information that we have just talked about, all the relevant information for Google, and gives you a direct overview of how ready your product is for with those certain information. And what we want to do is now create a little bit of a task list on working with the content. So here on our product view, these are the information that are important for Google Shopping to make sure that your product has the most relevant information in there and will get the best ranking. Now, I am only interested right now in seeing my products that are not 100% ready for Google Shopping. So we're going to start filtering for everything that is not equal to 100%. And you see directly here on the top, I have 106 out of 108 products that are not good to go. A lot of work for me to do, and now I can start working with them. For things like the product description that Dennis mentioned, this is something where you want to spend a little bit more time on, probably not something you can do at scale, because there's a lot of relevancy, and this is where we said last time, art meets science, where you want to include relevant keywords, but you don't want to just throw them up in there, but you want to create something that is easily consumable for the customer. But for a lot of information, you can create those at scale because it's going to be similar information across the board. A good example is the availability. You can say all of these should be in stock. The product type, super important. You can assign those. And here, what I want to do now is I want to make sure that I know these products here are in stock, and I'm going to edit this in bulk. For 3-4 products, easy to do by hand, but once you start getting into the 100, you want to do this here in bulk and say availability in stock for these products. And now what's going to happen? Now you see that 103 out of 108 products are on my to-do list because 3 of those products are now 100% good to go for Google Shopping. And this is what we're going to leverage now when we're syndicating the data to Google Shopping. Rather than looking for what's not 100% ready, we're going to see, show me everything that is 100% ready. And you see the beautiful laptop sleeve here, stickers, laptop cases. Everything you see here right now, these products actually come directly from our Plytix swag store, a project that we're running right now where you can get beautiful things like the sweatshirts that you've seen me wear in the videos so far. But that's another shameless plug for a different kind of story. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this filter here as our Google Shopping ready product list. And what's going to happen, this list automatically updates. So as you or your team are working on the content and another product is 100% ready, it will automatically be included in this list the next time you are syndicating content. Okay, so far we have worked on our task to get the products ready for Google Shopping. Now we have the products. Let's take a look at how we can create optimized product content at scale that is specifically relevant just for Google Shopping. And we're going to take a look at our Google Shopping feed here. And in here, we're going to assign the attributes from our central source of truth. Again, you may have 100 product attributes in here, but only 20 of them are relevant for Google Shopping. Here you choose what's relevant, plus you can create content at scale. The one thing that Denis went in great detail is the product title, super important. Now the product title, as you probably know on your own website, is not going to be the one that gives you the best results on Google Shopping. So in here, we can recreate this structure that Denis has just mentioned, where you want to include the brand, or what's in our case here called vendor, include the gender, product type, color, etc., and create a Google-specific title that gives you optimized results at scale here for all the products. So we're taking this example here to make sure our formula works. And this formula is something that you can do on your own, that your customer success team will gladly help you with. It's pretty much like Excel. And the result in this case is this optimized title for Google Shopping. Dennis, how does this look as a title for Google Shopping?
It looks brilliant. Absolutely astonishing how you use your products in these and these recommendations. Yeah, I'm just amazed.
I appreciate it, but I think this is, like you said, this is where boring things make you money, right? If you have to do this over and over and over again, you're going to go crazy. You're going to hate yourself doing this. But here you can do this at scale, channel specific for Google Shopping. Now, the next thing we touched upon is images. What you want to do always, you want to store the highest resolution image in Plytix, and then you can resize it for the different purposes. Denis mentioned 800 by 800 is the perfect ratio for Google Shopping, but it's different on the different channels. So rather than having 50 different versions of the perfect hero image, you just store it once and then you resize it for the different purposes. And you can even build a rule to give it a different file name, because this can also impact your SEO ranking depending on how you name your file in here. Last but not least, categories. One thing that we mentioned on, your Google categories will most likely be different than the ones that you would be using for your website. So in Plytix, you can have your different category trees Google specific ones, your website one, and in here you choose what you want to include. Dennis, what would you recommend for Google? Is it better to just use the last kind of child of that, or the last branch of this category tree, or does Google prefer to have the full kind of way down?
Yeah, if we're talking about Google product category, you can use just number of that specific category in our taxonomy. Or instead of number, you can use the full Google product category, the full name of it. Yeah, it's better to use the full one or use the number of a specific child in that branch.
Okay. And as we said, these categories will help Google to make sure that your products end up in front of the right people.
Yeah.
Okay. Without further ado, we're going to get into Q&As here right now. Again, if you have questions about this, if you are a Plytix customer already, we'll gladly help you with this. Reach out to your customer success manager. If you're not, please contact one of our experts. They will gladly help you look into this if this is the right solution for you. But we've had a lot of very great questions in here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Right now, here I am again. Let's get into it. The first thing that I would like to know, Leon actually asked, when creating this title, what is the recommended separating component in the title? Should there be a comma in between? This just kind of slash, nothing? Is there any rule for this?
Comma is okay. There are no strict rules about the separator component. Use just commas.
Okay, that's easy. Is there a preset in attributes for Google Shopping completeness? Oh, that's actually something Plytix related. There is no preset for attributes in there, because we also saw that it really depends on your category that you're selling in. If you're selling apparel, you want to include gender. Now, if you're selling consumer goods, if you're selling food, probably gender is not going to be as relevant. So these completeness attributes are customizable to create them the way you want to have them and what works best for this particular category that you're selling in. Again, your customer success manager will help you with this to set them up for you, but everything is designed so you can do it on your own. Could gender be kids? Dennis, how deep goes gender?
You know, I'm not sure that kids is a gender, because we have just two. I mean, apparently we have lots of genders, but usually we mention woman and man, and kids is an age group, and you can say that, you know, yeah, little girls or kids for girls and for boys instead of women's and men's, and you can use those instead of kids to be precise. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Another one question from Karen. What if other companies are selling the same product and are using Google Shopping? Which title, description, image is then being used?
So we use those titles, description, and images that are provided by the exact merchant, by exact, you know, our client, and we recommend to use as relevant data there as possible. If the data is the same for different merchants, if they sell pretty the same items, it's okay. This is okay for us, this is okay for users, and then those two merchants or even more merchants, they can compete with each other, setting different bids, or they can compete using different promotions or something else. Yeah, I hope this is the answer.
I believe that there is a difference between merchant and manufacturer center, correct? So if you are the brand itself, you have more control on what data can be used, also related to images, where you mentioned the watermarks over, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We have a different account for manufacturers, and through that account, our brands or manufacturers can kind of override some information, override some, you know, brand related or images related things. Yeah.
Okay, cool. One last question. I know we're going into the 40 minutes already. Jens asked, why is Google product category so important if Google itself adds them if you leave it empty?
Yes, sometimes we do some we do some mistakes. For example, one of my clients recently, they sell raining jackets for kids, and they had a question to me: can we specify our keywords or terms, because we have discovered that our raining jackets for kids have been promoted for adults, for grown adults. So, and I have discovered that Google product category was chosen incorrectly. It was chosen as just raining jackets, but we have a specific Google product category for kids, for jackets for kids. So sometimes we do some mistakes because this is machine learning, and yeah, it was detected incorrectly in the beginning. So that's why we recommend to double check Google product category.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I think at the end, Google is great in making those recommendations, making those connections, but it's always better to be fully in control to make sure it's up to you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there's so many great questions in there. We'll gladly follow up with all of you in there, but we are closing in right now. So thank you so much for your participation. Please remember, today was all about Google Shopping, but it's just one part of a solid multi-channel commerce strategy. So as you see in the chat right now, next week, we're talking to Jimmy Barber, and he comes from One Stone Solution, a marketplace agency that are experts, especially in Amazon. And he will tell you all about what makes a product rank on Amazon. There are a lot of similarities, but it is not the same formula that works for Google. So join us there. If you need help, please reach out to our experts. Otherwise, Dennis, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I most definitely learned a lot. Dennis, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Tim.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Again, if you need anything, please feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn, reach out. Otherwise, have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you next Tuesday, same time. Bye-bye.